Hi Stampers, and welcome. Today we're talking about the Timeless Tulip bundle. We've got the photopolymer stamp set, and it comes also with a punch. Now when you get something like this with a punch, and even if you get some die cuts, when you first get it, if you'll take maybe 3 or 4 post-it notes, I don't like to do one at a time, and punch out your shape. This will then provide you with a mask if you need it at another time, and I'm going to show you on one of the cards that we did, and then you can just store it right here on the lid of your stamp set for when you need it. Okay, so the first card that I wanted to share with you was this one. I think this came out really nice. So all I did on here was to take some watercolor paper and spritz it with water, and then remember our pigments, our paint pigments, brush show. I just sprinkled some of that on there and then let it dry. I stamped the stems and then put on some leaves and some of the tulips. So I thought that made a really pretty card. The cool thing about these tulips is they really look good in any color. I have another one here I used as a Mother's Day card. I just cut the inside shape out, took that off, and sponged around where I had cut it out. These are stamped on, and then this one is stamped and punched out and added on there later as a nice Mother's Day card. This one in blue, I really love it. I don't know if you really get tulips this color, but I absolutely love it. Did this one in the blue and the mint. Again, stamped the whole card first, then cut out my square and mounted it. Just a little bit of a matte with the mint behind it, and I think that makes it pop. Okay, so then on this card, I used the mask. Whoops, I'm sorry. So you always stamp what you want in the foreground first, and then you would cover that with the mask, and you can stamp the second one, and then cover that with the mask, and you can stamp the third one. All right, and how I get these kind of a 2-color is to take your stamp, ink it up in the lighter color, okay, and then take your darker color. This one, for whatever reason, is a little hard to open. Get some on the sponge, sponge just a little bit around the edge, and then stamp it. And see how that'll, I didn't get a good thing here, but see how that'll give you the two-tone? The other thing that I did on these, can you see how they're kind of filled in? I just took a blender pen after I stamped, and I just pulled, see how that pulls out that color? Now again, I think I had blue or green on here, but you can see how that kind of fills in the color. So I thought that came out really nice. Okay, and then for the last card, it's this one, and I really, really like this. Okay, so all I did on this one, I wanted to just sponge this color first. So the first time I did it, I just lined up my paper on the grid paper so that I could get straight lines, and I inked, and I'll show you in a minute how I inked. And then when I took this off, not only did the washi tape kind of take off some of my paper, it also, I had inked over the edge. So I said, well, that's not going to work. So then I decided, again, I lined up my paper here on the grid, and I marked where I wanted my lines to go. And then I took post-it notes and just a plain piece of white paper and put that on either side. Okay, like that. And then you can just take your inks. I started at the top and rubbed my way down so that it got lighter. And then I did the same thing with the green, coming up from the bottom started from the bottom and came up. Okay, and then when you take off those masks, you wind up with your nice clean lines. See, and that just looks so much better. So again, on the card, after I've inked that, I stamped, and then again I used my blender pen, let me use the other end, to just pull in some of that color so that it wasn't so stark white in the background. So I hope you enjoyed the Timeless Tulip cards. I should tell you too, the reason I put rhinestones on this one is because I got a little ink smudge there. So always remember, you can cover those up with a little sequin or a rhinestone or something. And I hope that you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.